Sergio Garcia has lived in the U.S. illegally for 2 decades, and now he can practice law. The California Supreme Court granted his license unanimously yesterday. This the latest in a string of victories for undocumented workers. Mike Emanuel, our chief congressional correspondent, is in Washington with details on this case. Mike.
Well, John, the California Supreme Court ruled this undocumented immigrant should receive a law license while awaiting approval from the federal government for his green card application. Sergio Garcia is 36 years old and was brought to the United States by his family when he was 17 months old. He went back to Mexico at age 9 and then illegally returned to the U.S. at age 17. Garcia worked at a grocery store, attended community college, worked as a paralegal, and after law school, he passed the bar exam. He says he hopes this will help others in similar circumstances.
As you know, what California does, a lot of people follow. And I know Florida is facing the same issue. New York's facing the same issue. And I really think they were both waiting on us to act.
California Governor Jerry Brown signed the bill into law allowing Garcia and other illegals to practice law and said back in October, quote, while Washington waffles on immigration, California is forging ahead. I'm not waiting. This follows more than a dozen states offering driver's licenses to people in this country illegally, and the ever-growing number of states providing illegals in-state college tuition. As you might imagine, some on the front lines of the immigration issue are outraged.
There are more and more jurisdictions, although largely in California and a few other states, that are refusing to cooperate with the Immigration Service to make sure that illegal immigrants who are arrested for, say, drunk driving or wife beating aren't deported. So there's a broad push to erase the difference between legal and illegal immigration, and this illegal alien lawyer is just the latest example.
This comes as there will be a push this year to do at least components of immigration reform in the House of Representatives. It is not clear what impact this case and others may have on that effort. John?
It is a fascinating and controversial case. We have more on it now. Mike Emanuel, thank you.
Thank you.
As Sergio said in that piece, that California really can set a precedent, and he says he hopes his case will open doors for millions of others pursuing careers in top fields. Let's bring in our legal panel. Esther Panich is a criminal defense attorney, and trial attorney Regina Tambanakis is joining us as well. Regina, a basic question. Is Sergio breaking the law by being in this country as an undocumented immigrant?
Yes. And being an undocumented immigrant, illegal, and a law degree doesn't mesh. How come he couldn't become a citizen in the 2 decades he was here? Why? I mean, you can't have an illegal alien as somebody undocumented who committed a crime to come here and never fix that, and now he wants to dispense law advice. Seriously? Well, that's what we're doing? Should not be allowed.
Let me ask you, Esther. Apparently, according to the LA Times, Sergio has been waiting on a green card since 1995. That's when the federal government accepted the petition that his father had applied for him. So in some cases, what we're seeing here, and love your thoughts on this, the state is at odds with the federal government, it seems, on this. So what is right? He's been waiting since 1995.
Right, and I don't understand why people are trying to cast the sins of the father who may have brought him here illegally onto the son. He was a child when he was brought here. He has done everything that he could to live the American dream, to get educated. All that time, 19 years, he has waited for permission. What should he have done in the meantime?
But Esther,
so he's been working, he's been studying, he was granted the right to do so, and now he wants to help others.
But legally, Esther, is he still here illegally? Is he still breaking the law by being here, having done all those things? And you could give any individual credit for doing all those things. Is he still here illegally? Yeah. Is he still breaking the law?
The California Supreme Court actually ruled on this and said his mere presence in this country as an undocumented immigrant is not grounds to not admit him, and it is not a violation of what we call moral turpitude. So they're saying no, it's really not a problem for him to exist and live in the state of California. Now, the issue is going to be in this case that nobody can hire him. He is not allowed to be because he's not here documented, but he can work for himself, just like I work for myself. And just like Regina works for herself.
So, Regina,
it is possible to have a law license and to have a law degree.
I came from Canada. It doesn't take 20 years.
As an
I got
adult?
a green card, and I became a citizen,
As an
and
adult?
I became a lawyer. How come I can do it, and this guy can't do it?
Okay, so
Why?
Regina, let me
It's
ask
ridiculous.
wait a second here. So Regina, let me ask you about
trying
what
to answer.
hold on a second. Regina, let me ask you what Esther brought up though. California did pass a law to make it legal for him to get the license. So that is confusing. So it's legal in California for him to get a law license. To Esther's point, he can't necessarily practice in federal courts, and there's limitations, obviously, to his employment. But is this a broader conversation about how federal and state laws are really at odds when it comes to immigration, and that needs to be fixed?
Listen, we got enough people here that we need to take care of and need jobs. The last thing we need is people coming in undocumented. And like I said, I came from Canada. I got a green card. I became a citizen. I became a lawyer. That's how you do it. What is the point of letting this guy practice when he's illegal? So he can go to his country and tell us all about our laws?
All right.
It's ridiculous.
So let me ask Esther
You know
final
what? I'm
thoughts
surprised.
on this. Go ahead.
I'm surprised that somebody who sees how hard it is to have become a citizen, who may, I don't know if you did this
It's
as
not
an adult.
hard, Esther.
He came
It took
as a
me
child.
5 years. What's so
He's
hard?
been waiting 19.
I did it.
He's been waiting 19.
Give me a break.
Well, then
I
you
came
should
here
be
at 14.
then you should
I
be
did it.
helping other people who want to do the same thing that
Please.
you did.
Regina,
If
Esther,
he wanted to, he would have done it. That is an excuse.
well,
that is an
right
excuse.
now,
Don't
as of
accept
right
it.
now, the law says in the state of California that he can have the license to practice law.
Good
so
for him.
it'll be interesting to see if that sets a
Right, and we can
precedent
deport him back to Mexico to practice.
to other
That's where he belongs.
states. Regina, Esther, obviously heated topic. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was controversial, as I said. The